Hello friends, this is Strifor, and today we're heading to Japan, a country whose economy has seen both rises and falls but has never stopped surprising, and not only with its cutting-edge technologies and mesmerizing cherry blossoms. It's a country where the economy resembles a chess game against fate itself, alternating between stagnation and renaissance, unafraid of bold reforms that either lead to triumph or drag it into prolonged crisis. In this video, we're going to share some unusual stories from Japan's economy and trading world to show you just how unconventional this country is. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss our other exciting episodes. In the mid-1990s, Japan faced one of the most severe crises in its history. The economic bubble of the 1980s burst when stock and real estate prices skyrocketed, plunging the country into the lost decade. The stock market collapsed, companies lost billions, and the Japanese had to adapt to a new reality. Yet even in that chaos, there were those who believed they could outsmart the crisis. At the center of it all was Yasua Hamanaka, head of copper trading at Sumitomo Corporation. Taking advantage of his position, he single-handedly bought up enormous volumes of copper over several years. At his peak, he controlled 5% of the world's entire copper supply. His copper sheets could have covered hundreds of thousands of football fields. By creating a shortage, he enriched both himself and his company by hundreds of millions of dollars. But even the most skilled players cannot defy the market forever. His scheme soon collapsed, and it turned out the company had lost around $2.5 billion. It was one of the largest corporate scandals in Japan's history. Hamanaka was sentenced to 8 years in prison, and Sumitomo's reputation was shattered for years. Thus ended the story of a man who tried to become the Copper King but turned out to be just a trader who believed too much in his own infallibility. By the early 2000s, Japan was slowly emerging from stagnation. The economy was recovering, and traders at the Tokyo Stock Exchange were operating with their usual precision. But in 2005, the country learned that even strict discipline could not prevent human error. A broker from Mizuho Securities was tasked with selling one share of a company called JCOM for 610,000 yen. But in a rush, he mixed up the numbers and offered 610,000 shares at the price of 1 yen each. The system allowed the order to go through, and thousands of traders snapped up the shares for pennies, reselling them for massive profits. Within minutes, Mizuho had lost $225 million. The Tokyo Stock Exchange refused to cancel the trades, even though the bank insisted. This became one of the most absurd failures in global trading history, proving that sometimes a single mistake is enough to shake the market. By 2012, Japan was tired of stagnation. The country was searching for new momentum, and it came with the arrival of Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. His plan, called Abenomics, aimed at radically restarting the economy. A weak yen to boost exports, financial injections for businesses, higher taxes. Japan once again became a reform laboratory. At first, everything was going well. The stock market grew, exports increased, but over time, the effect weakened. By 2020, amid the pandemic and rising government debt, it became clear that Abenomics had not solved all the problems. The economy had received a push, but Japan still had not regained its former power. Nevertheless, Abe's reforms became a key milestone, showing the country was willing to fight for its place in the harsh financial world. While Abenomics sought to revive the economy, the Bank of Japan decided to go even further. In 2016, it introduced negative interest rates, a move that turned conventional rules upside down. Now, banks were essentially paying borrowers to take out loans. The idea was to encourage the Japanese to spend and invest, but the Japanese, raised on frugality, continued to save. Banks lost profits, and investors sought returns abroad. The experiment, which began with great hopes, ended in disappointment. Last year, Japan became the last country in the world to abandon negative interest rates, admitting their ineffectiveness. This episode showed just how far the country was willing to go in pursuit of growth, even if it meant risking stability. At the same time, Japan never stopped looking ahead, betting on technology. At the heart of this wave was SoftBank, a venture capital giant investing in startups around the world. In 2019, the company was preparing the IPO of its brainchild, WeWork. But just before the launch, it became clear that the startup was drowning in problems, a weak business model, questionable decisions, and massive losses. The IPO collapsed, SoftBank lost billions, and its stock plummeted. But instead of retreating, the company continued to invest in innovation. This failure was not the end, but another lesson on Japan's path to technological leadership. SoftBank proved that even in tough times, the country is not afraid to dream big. The history of Japan's economy is a journey through crises, mistakes, and bold experiments. Here they might print money and hand it out to the public, or make banks pay to lend it. Here some traders build financial empires while others destroy them with a single click. But that's precisely why Japan remains one of the most fascinating countries for investors. Where else can you see such a mix of tradition and innovation, discipline and daring? Like in chess, Japan searches for unconventional moves in response to the challenges of time. Japan teaches us that economics is not just about numbers, it's about the courage to seek new solutions, even if the outcome is unpredictable. And that is why Japan continues to attract both investors and dreamers. Perhaps the real secret of its success lies in its ability to learn from mistakes and keep moving forward no matter what. If these stories inspired you to dive into the world of investments, whether in Japanese stocks, the Nikkei index, yen currency pairs, or even global markets, Strifor offers a convenient platform for trading CFDs on these and other assets. You can register your account on our website via the QR code or the link in the description to trade under competitive conditions. Leave a like if these stories resonated with you, share the video with friends, and write in the comments what other economic mysteries you'd like to explore. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new episodes. This was Strifor. See you next time.